we're literally watching Haaland and Man City put on a show at the Etihad, bro.
In real time.
Yo, they're going crazy, bro.
Yeah, no, but
honestly, they're going crazy. Another comeback at the Etihad. And I think what we learned, what we are learning is that City, it's just Man City, bro.
Man City are they're getting to a status of just being very inevitable.
Yeah.
But I think let's just basically just start our video. And yes, what have we learned over the past 3 game weeks in the Premier League up till this point? I'd say from the moment that the season started till this recent international break.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we can start talking about. I don't know.
A lot, bro.
I think let's just get into it.
I think let's just start with the predictions right prior to the season starting.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone expected Man City and Arsenal to hit the ground running and set the early pace at the top of the league,
as we've seen them to do the past 2 seasons. Basically, they've set the standard for the past 2 seasons. They've been duking it out, and I think the expectation was that once again it was going to be the two of them, and possibly Liverpool, depending on. But yeah, it's clear to see that Man City are definitely fulfilling that prediction, but Arsenal not so much.
Not so much, bro.
Yeah.
City have hit the ground running. 3 wins from 3 versus Chelsea, Ipswich, and West Ham. They put on a champions performance, bro. Like Pep Guardiola mentioned, did say after that game, they played like champions at I always do this. Why do I always say the Stamford Bridge?
It's not the Stamford. It's Stamford Bridge.
Stamford
It's not
Bridge,
the Stamford Bridge.
yeah.
Don't make it sound like it's just like it's Stamford Bridge, please. Okay.
Yeah, they put on a champions performance against Chelsea. Obviously, their best player their most important player, Rodgers, is missing, but still, bro, Kovacic slot in quite well.
Yeah.
Exceptional debut from Brazilian Savinho, who was signed from Girona in La Liga.
Yeah.
And, bro, they're just steamrolling at this point, bro. Another comeback in the next game, match day 2 against Ipswich Town. Haaland scoring a hat-trick. It's even becoming a norm now.
It's becoming such a normal thing, just such a formality at this point that it's just like, and it's not. Like, can we just, it's not. It's really not. And I think again,
I mean, Ronaldo and Messi were doing this shit.
Okay, true. But I'd say in the Premier League, we haven't seen anything like this before.
Nah,
that's what I'm saying.
This is
not to this extent,
right?
not to this extent. But again, just touching on Haaland, he looks fitter, he looks stronger, he looks healthier than what he did last season. Then again, he scored 26 goals, 24 goals last season.
28, I think. 28, just not 36 that he scored in his debut.
But that's
season,
what I'm saying. The fact that
is still solid,
that's still a great return. And that time, that wasn't even him at his best.
Yes.
And he's still able to do that. And I think this season, you can tell that things are just like, it's basically just back to business. Back to business. We're just coming here, want to do a 5-peat. And yeah, they've really 100%. They've scored goals, impervious at the back, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
But down in London, they're not firing on all cylinders.
Not the way
they're not gunning.
The Gunners, yeah, the Gunners. Before we get into Arsenal, I just want to say a special shout out to City's new signing, Savinho.
Yeah,
very impressive. I'm very excited to see what he brings. I think his flair and his personality on the pitch, that is something to note. So I just wanted to send a special, he's definitely a player that I will be looking forward to seeing over the course of
he's the type of player that you pay to go watch at the stadium.
No,
bro.
I agree. So again,
keeps you on the edge of your seat and an entertainer in the Premier League, bro.
Yeah,
fantastic, bro.
But yeah, sorry. Moving on to Arsenal, I'd say again, their first game was against Wolves, right?
Yeah.
First game was against Wolves, and it was not dodgy, but it was a cagey first half, but they still managed to get the first goal.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got the second goal in the second half. And again, Bukayo Saka, still firing, still proving that he is the man in that Arsenal team. He is the guy of that Arsenal team again and again. And yeah, I'd say it started out well. And then, of course, second game week, they went to Aston Villa.
Yes.
Aston Villa. And
They came away with the dub.
They came away with the W.
Yeah.
Again, a performance that was, it was good, but Villa had a lot of good chances as well.
They did.
Yeah.
And we'll touch on that game for aspect when we get to Aston Villa. But I think the game that Arsenal fans will feel most disappointed about and what they would have learned in that game, the game against Brighton, the 1-0 draw, a very controversial draw, because there was another refereeing decision that
has people
questioning the integrity of the Premier League referees once again with their inconsistencies. The yellow card to Declan Rice. What did you think about that, bro?
That one is... I think it was harsh in my opinion.
It was harsh, but he stopped the game according to the rules of the game. He stopped Brighton from restarting play.
You see now, the thing is now, with the rule book of football now, it's always being chopped and changed depending on situations. Some situations, and I think again the application of consistency, it's a bit dodgy sometimes. It's not really being applied the way that it's supposed to. So again, in some instances, we don't see that being given as a red. Other times, probably it will be. But I don't know. But otherwise, I'd say I don't know. Touching on just like Arsenal in terms of the team format as well. I don't know. I'd say the dynamic of Rice and Partey.
Yeah, that it's a cause for concern because people, Arsenal fans in particular, are saying maybe Thomas Partey still needs to like get a grip of the physicality of the Premier League because it's been a while since he has been a consistent starter in the team.
I think that was probably his first season when he came.
Yeah, and right now he's playing with another player of the same profile, some sort. Because Declan Rice at this point, I feel like he's still trying to find himself. Is he a 6? Is he a 8?
Box to box. Yeah. I'd say he's been more often than not more of a box to box than the destroyer number 8 or number 6 that we think that he is for the England national team or anything like that. But I'd say that's something that I just noted watching those games. And again, even with the draw against Brighton, it's not the end of the world. They're still unbeaten, but again, we really thought that they'd be blowing teams out of the water once again, because again, they know that dropping points against this Man City team will warrant nothing else but second place.
There was really a lack of fluidity, and that's what you get when you play two defensive midfielders. Defensive midfielders. But also Rice came out and said he has concerns with his fitness. He doesn't feel like he's fit enough, which goes for every player that participated in international competitions in the summer. Declan Rice played every game of England's Euro campaign, which they reached the final. So they played every single game, and they had a couple of extra time games in there. But the signing of Mikel Merino could have aided that. Could have aided that, added more fluidity. Mikel Merino is a player who can pass the ball through the lines in midfield, and he's out injured for 2 months. He might be back until the next international break. But till then, I guess it's up to Odegaard to string the passes to Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz up front.
I don't know. I'd say again, Arsenal, they still look good. I'd say not as good, but I'd say even from last season, they didn't start as well as that first season. So I guess, they still look pretty decent. They still look really good. I think now we just have to see if they can just get themselves into the swing of things. But they
have to do that quite early because onslaught at Liverpool, bro.
The team that we didn't actually expect we were not sure. They were a surprise outfit because new team, new manager, same team, reasonably the same team, but a new manager, same squad pretty much. But new manager, new philosophy. I'd say he doesn't play the same style as Klopp fully, but I'd say again they've done quite well. They've done quite well in the first, again, the only other team besides Man City that has a 100% start in the Premier League, 3 wins out of 3. And watching their first game against Ipswich, they had a tough first half, but they came back and you can tell that the team has really taken to Arne Slot very quickly. They get what he wants them to do. I'd say it's not too dissimilar to Klopp in the sense of they are a lot of the same pressing triggers and stuff like that. But I'd say obviously now they look a lot more defensively solid.
Yeah, they do.
They don't look so compromised defensively, especially when teams are going at them. They seem like their setup is quite good. So
I think the tweak in the system, Anslot, the one that he did, he started with the formation, I think.
Yeah.
Switching from Klopp's classic 4-3-3, and now he's playing more of a 4-2-3-1
okay.
with a double pivot in midfield. And I must say, Gravenberch and McAllister have been solid. They're protecting Virgil van Dijk and Konate at the back. And obviously, Dominic Szoboszlai didn't have the best of first seasons
I'd say
season.
him and Gravenberch didn't really have the best seasons last year, especially in their first seasons. They didn't really find themselves in that team that very often. So it's kind of interesting how Oneslot has taken two of these players and just like found a way to just integrate them and getting the best out of both of them, because Szoboszlai looks good. He's a very athletic player. So, but now it's like he's getting the best, and Gravenberch looks like a player reinvigorated and undroppable at this point. So again, but I also have to add, maybe they haven't really had a test like that. Not
Ipswich
really.
Town, newly promoted.
Promoted team,
bottom
Brentford, bottom tier.
United.
Manchester United, still trying to get...
Eighth place last season.
So,
we're not trying to take credit away from Liverpool. Their next run of fixtures is quite decent. When I'm looking at it here, I see they're playing right now, halftime 0-0 against Nottingham Forest. They have a Champions League game against AC Milan. And then after that, it's Bournemouth at home, Wolves away, Crystal Palace, then maybe Chelsea.
So yeah, I'd say, we're not taking anything away. We're just saying that, they look good.
Yeah.
But, probably let's see, as the games progress, still first 3 games, but just from what we've seen, what we've learned, we can say that, okay, Liverpool seem like they are tipping their hat into the title race to say we're definitely in there. And no, credit to Oneslot for being able to implement his style of play so quickly and so effectively.
What did you think about the omission of Darwin Núñez? Because everyone is expecting him to start in this new system under the new manager, but seems like Onslaught favors the front three of Luis Diaz on the left, on the left with Jota leading the line down the middle, and obviously Mr. Consistent Mo Salah on the right.
I'd say for me, I always preferred Jota. I just feel like he's much more of a clinical player. It's just that his injury
one of the best finishers in the league, to be honest.
I think from shot to goal conversion rate is exemplary, but again, his fitness has always been a cause for concern. But I think with Darwin Núñez, shame. I think the past 2 seasons has shown he's become a bit of a meme. Because he needs he needs, and it's crazy because he'll end up like he's an enigma in the sense that he'll look like he'll look like probably he'll look like a bit weird, but then end up with like 10 goals and 10 assists by like November or something. Right. But I think again, he just seems like a very, I don't know. I can understand why Slot feels like Jota is just a better option. I just feel like in terms of clinicality and all around game, just looks a lot better. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Darwin is being left out unfairly, not even given a chance?
I don't think he has given Liverpool much to consider.
Okay.
Him being the starting number 9 at Liverpool, especially right now.
Yeah.
And I think Jota slotting in quite well in this. In fact, the whole team, from Trent, his new role now, more of a inverted. We saw it with Klopp, but I feel like right now it's much more controlled. He's not bombing forward as the right wing there. The defense looks solid. Robertson looks like he's going back to his best. But I must say that midfield is mainly the reason that Liverpool have enjoyed success in the first 3 match days.
That, and of course, again, as you said, Mr. Consistent himself, Mo Salah, finding his best form once again. Beginning of the season, you already know. And again, I don't know what his stats are specifically, but I know that like he's 2 goals and a couple of assists here and there. So again, he
ran
looks
the show versus Man United.
That is true. He always does too. But I'd say well, let's see what Liverpool can give us. So far so good. But yeah.
But on to Man United, bro.
It's transition. It's transition
what a
into
horrendous performance by them against Liverpool. No disrespect to Liverpool, but they went there and implemented their game plan, which is quite similar. When I was watching the game, most of the pressing triggers, most of the first phase build-ups, like they were very, very similar. The managers, Eric Ten Hag and Anslot, obviously they're Dutch managers from the Eredivisie.
Yeah.
Their systems are quite similar in terms of the way they wanted to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Not so in the way that they wanted to defend, but what I noticed is that Liverpool set traps for Man United, and Man United, Casemiro specifically, fell for it. Yeah.
You need to leave the football before the football leaves you.
Nah,
honestly,
that's a legend of the game, bro.
Yeah, shame. No, he is a legend of the game, but no, even legends, man, they must rest. They must. No, okay, no, nah. Let me chill out. Now, honestly, I'd say United as a whole, it's always gonna be a toss of the coin what you're gonna get from this United team and this iteration of United. For the longest time, United had a good, like I'll say, United had a really good window. We had a really good window. We bought smart, bought where we feel like we needed to address the right positions on the pitch. But again, it's been a fairly inconsistent start to the season, and this is something
inconsistent since
this is
the back end of last season. Yeah,
back end of last season, pretty much. And I think again, out of the 3 games, 1 win, 2 losses, not great. It's not great, and I think again, obviously, it's still the first 3 games, but I'd say one thing that I can note, they look better. They look better. Yeah. They're playing much better compared to last season. Definitely, they're playing a lot better. They don't look as open. They're not conceding as many chances as last season. But still, I'd say balls.
Eric Ten Hag needs to work.
Definitely, I'd say that's something that needs to be basically nicked out, the lack of consistency, because you can play well in one game and then completely just throw it out the window in the next game. And I think again, if this team or if this board Ineos genuinely want to find themselves at the top of European football, these are the types of things that they just need to get rid of. And just as you said, Liverpool game was woeful. Fulham game was actually pretty good, just very wasteful.
Yeah. Again, shooting themselves in the foot, not converting chances.
Yeah.
Lack of urgency. Loss of concentration in key moments.
They are the victims of their own demise in a lot of ways.
Facts, bro.
And I just think even the Brighton game, a lot of good stints where they should have. I'd say that was a game that they should have won.
Yeah.
But now, again,
Zirkzee was at the right place at the wrong time.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying again. But just to note, in terms of let's not dunk on United all the way.
Yeah.
There are a lot of positives to look at. I'd say, the likes of Garnacho looking very clinical, looking very like proper. Amad Diallo. It seems like this is his season. This is the time for him to not just be the one coming up and saying, I'm the one now. This is my time.
Spot seems like it's opened up with the departure of Jadon Sancho and also Anthony still off form.
No, but again, we also have the likes of Marcus Rashford, who up till
since
game
March,
week scoreless up until March, and past 2 games didn't really impose himself in that way. Created a couple of chances. First goal that he scored up to, as the time of recording, he scored in the 3-0 win versus Southampton. But in terms of the past 3 game weeks that we're looking at, didn't really show much, and that is again a cause for concern. But I'd say United as a whole is just always a cause for concern. Bro. But
Ten Hag still trying to find his best system and his best 11. Plus, he's got like 5 new players, 6 counting the academy signing, Sokokone. So a lot of work to do, but the next manager, bro, Fabian Hurtzler, we had to learn how to Hurtzler. We had to learn how to pronounce his name. 31-year-old manager, the youngest manager of the month in the Premier League Manager of the Month for August.
The youngest Premier League manager. Period.
Damn, I didn't know that. He guided Brighton to 3rd place in their first 3 games. 2 wins, 1
surprise
draw.
Package. Definitely the surprise package. I think a lot of people were looking at this appointment and saying, I feel like this is a hipster move too much, because we know that Brighton are the team that take very unorthodox ways of doing things, and it's paid dividends for them a lot. But I'd say this was an appointment, and I'd say it's paid off, because they've hit the ground running. Emphatic win against Everton, and they beat us 2-1.
Yeah,
not great. Yeah, not great at all.
Yeah.
And got a really good draw away from home against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Like, that's, say what you will, bro. Like,
they actually imposed themselves once Declan Rice got off the pitch. I know they're gonna say, but Arsenal at 10 men, but you still
have to take the advantages as you get them.
Yeah.
So again, very interesting. I'd say players, just to point out, Danny Welbeck, looking really good, looking fit,
aging like fine wine.
Aging like fine wine, but again, looking fit. Kieran Matuma, also another one who looks like he might be back to his best.
I think he revamped his philosophy.
Even he fixed up that little dissertation of his, which is good. I'd say Minta, what's his name? Kunwabeka? I'm not sure. I'm butchering his name. I'll just say Minta. Gambian footballer, plays on the right wing. Again, another one of these regions that Brighton seems to just whip up from out of nowhere. Again, looking really good.
Network,
definitely. So, but otherwise, I'd say Brighton playing some really good football, and definitely challenges for European football. We'll see how it goes, but first 3 games look really good. Definitely.
And another team that's definitely going to challenge for European football again next season, Aston Villa, bro. What's interesting about the Clarets, bro, is the fact that this season they have UCL duties, bro. They're going to be in the newly expanded Champions League
for the first time in over 60 decades. Yeah. That's a long time, So basically, this is new pastures for them altogether. I'd say, obviously, let me not say new pastures. They were in the Conference League last season.
Yeah.
So at least they have an experience of it. But now this is the Champions League. This is the biggest kettle of fish in football, period, like altogether. So I'd say, it's I don't know. I'd say what I can say, they've started the season the way that they ended it. They've played well. A good win against West Ham. They lost to Arsenal, but there was a good performance, and another win against Leicester City in the last game. So I'd say again, Unai Emery, he's cooking something. He's cooking. It's been a good evening.
He's the one manager that you want from the team that's just outside of the top 4, and it's right there, Europa League, but can contend for Champions League places. Yeah. We saw what he did with Villarreal. We saw what he did with Sevilla. And now it seems like it's the same template with Aston Villa.
And again, go ahead, yeah.
Another player to mention from the Arsenal game, they were quite unfortunate to lose that game, actually. Morgan Rodgers, bro. He's looking Arsenal good. Too,
yeah, he's looking like an exciting one. I'm very excited to see what comes of him. Yeah. I'd say again, John Duran. Is it John Duran?
Yeah, John Duran, yeah.
He's another one that I'm very excited to see.
must work to keep his spot, I guess.
Yeah, no, tough start to the season for him. Hasn't scored as of yet, but still, early days. I'd say again, Amadou Onana. He's looking like a nice deal. They got him for 50 million, which is a very hefty price, but it's looking like it's not that bad after all, because he scored 2 goals in his first 3 games. He's been very strong and very imposing in that.
He's brought that physicality in that midfield.
And I'd say they've brought a lot of players. They brought in a lot of players. They were one of the, I think, in top 5 biggest spenders in the Premier League. So again, that's very interesting to see how that's going to turn out. But I'd say, Aston Villa look really good. They definitely are up there in terms of challenging for challenging for top 4. Challenging for top 4. Top 4. They're looking definitely like they're in and around that conversation. So very excited to see so far good stuff from them.
What about Spurs? Do you think they have the manager, the players to go again and challenge for top 4?
Lads, it's Spurs. Spurs, I think if you just look at their results in the first 3 games, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. So, just all over the shop. But again, a very Spursy type of thing, because who did they bring in this summer? Did they bring in any players of note? I don't know.
Dominic Solanke for 60 million.
Of course, yeah. Sorry.
For 60 million.
Dominic Solanke, he had a tough first game against Leicester. And he's been injured since then, so we haven't really seen much of him. But that's an interesting signing. That's a good, very exciting signing, especially with the way that Ange Postecoglou wants to play. But I'd say again, man, Spurs just, they just always seem to have this weird thing of just being massively inconsistent when they want to, then bang them in when they want to. And again, another thing to note, the just defensive frailties.
Oh,
That is something that will really be the plight of their season, because
they play attractive football, I guess.
they do.
That's what
They're very
fans always rave about.
We like the fact that they are always imposing. They always want to play front foot football, but sometimes it leaves them very open to being attacked a lot of the time. And again, the Leicester game, I think they had 17. They had a lot of shots, but again, they left themselves open. And Jamie Vardy, you're having a party. Jamie Vardy gets the goal again, and had a very good emphatic win against Everton. And then boom, again now, third game of the season, drawing to losing to Newcastle for the second season in a row.
They always seem to have a tough time.
They have a very tough time. Yeah. So again, it's like third season in a row that they've lost there. So it's tough. It's looking very difficult. But I don't know.
The defense hasn't really been shored up, right? Even
true.
One of the best defenders in the league with Mickey van der Ven.
Yeah.
And Christian Romero, World Cup winner. But their style of play, bro, that high line,
it seems like it's
double-edged sword.
Yeah, perfect way to put it. It's a double-edged sword. So again, Spurs, we'll see. I'd say what we can take from these past 2 games from Spurs is that we haven't learned much. They haven't really given us much to chew on. I'd say players like Yves Bissouma, he's found himself back into the team. So I guess he's a good player. He's a great player. So again, even Heung-min Son again, bang them in. Heung-min 9, playing as a number. So again, he's been banging them in. But yeah, I don't know.
What I've noticed is that from the teams that we have mentioned, gonna challenge for the top 4.
Yeah.
There's a lot of inconsistencies, bro. You don't know what you're gonna get from these teams.
Again, it's early days. I'd say it's very early days. Some players are recovering. So let's not. I think as we're learning, we're still gonna have that caveat to say yes, it's the first 3 games. So let's not jump the gun or have too many presuppositions already. But yeah, I can say that there has been a lot of inconsistency.
But I'm not speaking for all Chelsea fans, but they really jumped the gun after the 6-2 win against Wolves.
Oh yeah.
I'm cold. I'm hot.
I'm hot. He's cold. Fire and ice. Hey. Jeez, that was Nani Madueke.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say
shout out to him, first Premier League hat trick.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, no. Actually, shout out to him. Genuinely.
Shout out to him.
I'd say first 3 games. What we've learned from Chelsea. Again, from last season, not much. They are a team that blow hot and cold. Again, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 draw. And yeah, they played against City, first game, tough game to be in, but they weren't
depth, honestly.
Definitely, they were not like hopeless. They did create chances, but again, not much in terms of limp attack. And which is funny because they have a plethora of attacking options, but they just didn't look.
Jackson, Neto, Kunku, Felix, Madueke, Modric, and now Jadon Sancho is going to join them. Magui from Barcelona, obviously Cole Palmer, young player of the season. But other than that, the midfield, Caicedo and Enzo, hasn't seemed to click
the way.
Solid.
I'd say one thing that I can take as a positive, Romeo Lavia has looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's looked really good in that first City game and against the Wolves and even against Crystal Palace. He definitely seems like someone who's going to find his place in that team.
Yes.
But again, just what we can take from Chelsea. We take what we see.
Yeah.
We take what we see. They can beat a team 6-2 and then just go ahead and be absolutely boring. Or not boring, but just not much to their game against Crystal Palace. So,
but
I don't know.
Enzo Maresca seems like he knows what he wants to do in terms of his playing style, possession-based, with the wingers flying forward and a solid midfield base.
Yeah.
It seems like he's still building his team at this point.
I agree.
Not much to expect from Chelsea with this manager, but the plethora of players tell you that they have a good squad and he can work on that. And moving on to the next team, bruh, Newcastle. Unbeaten start to the season.
Unbeaten start to the season. You know, a very their first game was like, you know, they got a red card in the first half, but they still scored, and then they just basically had Southampton attack them for 80% of the game. So not much to look at from that. But I'd say again, the second game they drew against Bournemouth, and then a great win against Tottenham. So I'd say with them, they're not playing European football this season, so they have so that will massively help in terms of just helping them just be able to find their way, and again, you know, just let them just figure things out, because I think last season you could tell that the balancing act didn't work out for them.
No, it did not.
The injuries massively hampered any sorts of progression. So I'd say again, they have most of their most important players this season. Sandro Tonali back from his betting ban.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to see. But I'd say just what we've learned from Newcastle is that, they are a team to also just watch and see. Just be careful about them. You know, they're quietly going about their business, doing what they got to do. So
they've kept their main man in midfield, Bruno Guimaraes,
who's now their captain.
Yeah.
So,
but last season their captain for most of the time, Trippier, wants to leave, which is kind of weird.
That was a very weird one. I didn't expect that one. That one was just, I thought he was pretty happy, you know, Champions League football, you know, playing high level, playing at the highest level, I'd say. And, you know, him being an important part of that. I don't know. Weird, but interesting to see.
In terms of other teams that would be looked at, West Ham, bro. Oh, it's been a shit show for them, honestly. For the transfer window that they had. I mean, they bought Jean-Claire Todibo to the team to show up their defense. Niklas Füllkrug up front from Borussia Dortmund. Carlos Soler from PSG. Aaron Wan-Bissaka from Man United to sort out their right back. This team, they spent a lot of money to supplement Jared Bowen, who had fantastically at 30 goals and assists season. Went under the radar, but they lost to Aston Villa and Man City match day 1 and match day 3, which is kind of understandable when you look at where the teams are at. And they won against Crystal Palace with goals from Thomas Souček and Jared Bowen. But I don't know what to expect from them, because it's relatively a new squad, new manager. Julian Lopetegui, who replaced David Moyes. From the first 3 games, what I'd say is that they're a team that's still trying to find themselves. I don't think Julian Lopetegui has really imposed himself in this team, because I'm seeing a lot of tactics from David Moyes' time there. Still, even though like they're trying to be more expansive, but they're still like doing mid blocks and low blocks. So, but what I've learned from them is that the players still need to gel. But Wan-Bissaka has been performing quite well.
He's been note to him. He seems like a player invigorated. So but it hasn't correlated. I'd say the summer window and what we've seen in the results, they don't. So they don't come together. So hopefully they'll be able to figure it out. We'll see how that happens.
Yeah. Next, Crystal Palace, bro. The manager Glasner, he took the league by storm when he went in there. I mean, blew away Man United 4-0 in one of the most memorable results for their season last season.
It just ended on a bang, really.
Yeah. And this season, he hasn't been able to recapture that form. The loss of Elise didn't help, bro, honestly.
Yeah, it didn't do them any favors. I'd say it's, you know, him and Eze, on those both sides, they really were such an attacking duo, and I'd say losing him, it's really, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's caused an imbalance, but I'd say they're still trying to figure things out. I'd say they've managed to keep everyone else. I'd say Mark Guehi was touted to go to Newcastle, but he's staying. They've lost Hakim Anderson, but again, you know, I'd say otherwise they've kept mostly the same squad, but it seems like not everything is kicking into place just yet.
Yeah, they haven't won a game, by the way.
Still, up till this point, in these first 3 games, they still haven't won a game. So, I don't know. I'd say what I've learned from them is that, you know, let's not just, you know, assume that your form going in from last season will correlate into the season.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, and I'd say
Doesn't, yeah.
with this season it hasn't, and yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see, but I'd say
they're putting all their hopes on Oderechi Eze for this season.
yeah, I'd say he's gonna he really needs to have a big season for them if they have any hopes of at least finishing as high as in the top half, because I'd say that's an ambition that they'd probably want to have. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
Do you think Ipswich Town, any of the newly promoted teams, will stay up after the first 3 match days?
Genuinely, I think Ipswich Town, out of all the promoted teams that have come up, I'd say Ipswich Town was the team that impressed me the most, just because they gave Liverpool a very tough time.
Yeah,
I'd say they haven't. It's rough that their first 2 games was against Liverpool and Man City, so that could have been dealt a better hand than that. But otherwise, I'd say they look good. They look like a team. I don't know, in terms of quality, the squad is a very championship level.
Yeah.
So again, I'd say Kieran McKenna, great manager, and I'd say he's getting the most out of what he has.
Yes.
And it's just a matter of time to see. But I'd say over the first 3 games, from all 3 relegated teams, I'd say Ipswich Town, they look like a team that possibly could give us something. Leicester City, they've had a few. They drew against Spurs. They lost against Villa. What else? What's this? And then they lost to Fulham. So again, even before we were shooting, you were saying that, hey man, Leicester City, bro, they've got the experience of Premier League
power. Is used to it, bro.
But I'm just looking at the fact that the squad it's not the same squad. It's been overhauled quite a lot. There's been a lot of changes to the squad. So it's not really the same team. Yes, it's the same club, but it's not the same team. So I'm looking at that and I'm just saying I'm not very sure. I'd say Southampton, sorry, but nah, they're as good as gone. That's what I've learned. They're as good as gone. That squad, the manager, I haven't been moved. I haven't been impressed.
Yeah.
It's really been very lackluster. So yeah, they look like they're in trouble. They look like it's gonna be a long season. So yeah.
Predictions for the season from now, since we've seen like the first 3 match days, we have an idea of how these teams are gonna play and the players that are gonna have the biggest roles in the teams. Predictions for Premier League champions, top 4 European spots.
As of right now, as of right now,
yeah.
I'd say I'm still pretty much confident saying that City champions 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Hurts me to say that, but it just looks like that's just what's going to be.
It's the reality we live
Probably,
in, sadly.
I'd say the other 2 spots, Liverpool and Arsenal, that 4th spot is up for grabs. That one is up for grabs. I can't really pinpoint right as of yet. But yeah, I'd say for top 3, as I've said it, I'd say in terms of relegation, Southampton definitely 100%. Leicester City, they look a bit dodgy for me, genuinely. And another team that we didn't note, Everton.
Yeah.
I feel like this time around, Everton, they look like their luck has run out.
Dutch ball is gonna save them this time.
I see Dutch ball. I feel like now, this utter woke nonsense. I think it might just get to them now. Honestly, I'm sorry. I know the meme. It's just like utter woke nonsense. I'm like, sorry. It seems like it's catching up to them, because what I can say from what I've watched with Everton these past 3 games, hey, they look all over the place. They look all over the shop. It's looking a bit tough. So. Yeah.
My predictions are quite similar to yours. I have City as champions, man.
Okay.
I feel like no other team is going to win the league as long as Pep Guardiola is still in the league at this point.
No, I get that.
Second, I feel like Arsenal still has the consistency to do it.
Yeah.
They still have the players and the manager to do it. And third, I'm going to throw a spanner in the works there. I feel like Man United is going to finish third, bro. And Liverpool fourth.
You're letting your heart speak for your brain.
Bro,
don't do this, bro.
Chat to me at the end of the season, bro.
Chat to me.
Chat to me at the end of the season.
This is what we've learned over these past 3 game weeks. I'm not saying what ambitions are, and I'm saying from what I've seen the past 3 game weeks, I just feel like United their form has warranted at least top 6. That's what they look like. Genuinely, I'm looking at that. I'm actually doing what we formulate when you're using your heart.
I'm not using my heart, bro. I'm just telling you, Manuel Ugarte is still gonna get into the team.
Oh dear.
The signings are still
Manuel
gonna click.
Ugarte, he's the second coming, Jay. The way that but anyways,
all
right. Your relegation candidates.
I think all the newly promoted teams are gonna drop down, bro. The only team that's giving me hope at least is Leicester. Honestly,
I don't get where you get this Leicester this hope.
They have Jamie Vardy, bro.
Jamie Vardy having a party.
They have Jamie Vardy.
No, okay. So, fair, but again, he's what, 34 now. Like you can't be relying on a 34-year-old.
But you know he's definitely going to bang in 15 goals.
He will, but I'm just thinking, will those 15 goals actually be significantly helpful, or is just going to be those goals at the end of a 4-0 drubbing, just like to say, oh shame, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Again, from what we've learned, not moved, not really, but yeah, we'll see. That's all we have for today.
That's what we've learned from Premier League match day 1, 2, and 3.
Let us know what you think. What have you guys learned from these past 3 game weeks, and what do you think? What do you think is going to happen in the season?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. And yeah,
that's it.
That's it.